two hands, body, two legs. This is one of the life force which is responsible for ensuring that the body structure is maintained in that fashion. So in a nutshell, if you see this life force or pranic body, which is not possible to see in visible form, it is like a phantom body, as you call it. In modern fashion, we say that it's a phantom body. This is the reason in neuroscience, if you see nowadays, which I learned that recently, suppose someone's hand is chopped off, had gross flesh and blood is chopped off, but the pranic hand is still alive. It is very much, it has not gone anywhere.
Phantom limb.
Phantom limb, which we call it. Yeah, you Dr. Prasad, you must be knowing better. And I believe the sensory perception, in fact, shifts onto somewhere on the face or somewhere. Wherein someone by accidentally happens to prick you on the face, then you retort back saying that why are you pinching my right hand when you don't have the right hand any longer. This has been proved. And long, this is not a modern, no, I think I read about it about 20 years back. This is about the neuroscience. Even the neuroscience is almost coming to terms with that. And that what I learned at the time was, I don't know about the modern time. What we really know about the neuroscience is pathetically very little. Not much is now. That is the state of affairs. Anyway, so these four gross bodies are formed. I told you, 4 layers. Or that is the 5th body of flesh and blood. With that, the creature has been created. Now, for this creature to perceive the world outside, it needs to be, just imagine like creating an AI robot here. You have created an AI robot, less the soul, you have created it yourself, you have put everything. How can the robot sense the world outside around it? You have got to put 5 sensors to it, which we call it Jnanendriyas: eyes, ears, nose, the ability to perceive the taste, and of course the touch. The 5 sensors you have put inside the mind of the robot. This much is clear. Now there is something else you got to put in that. Outside the world, there are something known as solids, liquids, gases, like that, 5 elements of the nature. You got to put corresponding sensors also to the robot. That this is solid, this is liquid, this is that, this is that. All the sensors have to be put in. So in the same fashion, the human being is also being created, in more or less. And then once this thing has been done, now he has taken up birth based on the karma which he has accumulated. Obviously, if someone has done good punya, has accumulated a lot of religious merit, he will not take birth in a farmer's village in a jungle. He is to undergo a rich life. He will take birth in a good family. He will inherit only that. He will take birth in such a kind of a family. The ecosystem is suitable to it, around it. It is dictated by the karma which has been accumulated. It has no choice there. It is dictated by the karma. Although
control, Baba, please, Babu.
Similarly, the kind of parents which he gets, suppose that guy has been an alcoholic father in his previous life, he has abused his children. Now what do you expect? He will be exactly born into a family where he will have an abusive alcoholic father. Similarly, there is a guy who had harassed his wife all his life, made her life hell in his previous life. Now you will take birth in a family and you will inherit a spouse. Now the role will be reversed now, to undergo the consequences of the same thing. Similarly, the kind of siblings that guy gets around within the house, the kind of neighbors you get around, the kind of village in which you are born, the kind of community you are born, the kind of relatives you have, the kind of your friends circle you have, the entire ecosystem of the person around him. That is what his personal life all about, no? Right? Family, neighbor, community, friends, relatives. That's all ecosystem is all about. He is born exactly matching to the karma which he has accumulated to experience the same kind of a thing. And then the life starts unfolding, dictated by the karma. He starts perceiving the world around him through the senses. The command is coming from the intellect, from the subconscious mind. and the storehouse is there, all the karmic deeds which he has done, and the karma, each karma starts surfacing to the mind, conscious mind, and mind undergoes through one of the modifications which I was talking to you earlier, the 9 navarasas and all that. Sometimes in a romantic mood, sometimes in an angry mood, sometimes in a kind of a treacherous mood, some kind of in a compassion. You try to be compassionate to others. All emotions only, nothing else. All emotions. It undergoes through one of the emotions based on the karma which is surfacing. One of the karma which is surfacing to consciousness. And now the free will is there immediately there. The command is exercised. It gives the command. Okay, you are seeing a poor guy begging. Be compassionate. You are a very compassionate guy. Your ego is also giving you the boost now. Donate to it something. Now the command is now going to the 5. There are 5 organs of action also, by the way. The 5 organs of action: the hands, both legs, the ability to procreate, the ability to that excretory function, 4, and the speech. That is the 5th organ. With one of the organ, the command goes, and now you give it to the guy, donate, enjoy. You start now feeling that, no, the egoism is also now giving you the boost. Yeah, I've done a good thing now today. I've donated some money to some. Everything is illusionary. Everything is the ego satisfaction, the psychedelic experience, and all that. And that's how your interaction with the world keeps going on and on and on. And in the process, what is happening? Now the karma is now getting recycled back into the system. Now that is the biggest problem. That means that you imagine a huge water tank with let's say millions of liters of water, and every day you are undergoing through you are draining out, let's say, 1,000 liters of water. The 1,000 liters are now being recycled back into the tank through another inlet, if not more, the same quantity. 1,000 liters per day draining out, 1,000 liters coming back. Now the tank is never empty now. It will go on and on, like the tank eternal, you can call it. Now the only way to empty the tank, only thing which is required to be done at least the minimum, you need to change the status. Either you increase the outlet drainage, that hole has to be increased, or you block the inlet little bit. And that is the triggering point, we call it. In the entire yoga system or any tantric system, any pursuit of spiritual discipline, that is the trigger point. You need to somehow, by hook or crook, alter the status quo. Let's assume you have managed to increase the volume of the water being drained out. 1,000 liters, 1,010, 1,020, 1,050, 1,100, 1,150. You are slowly increasing the drainage of water. Let the inlet be constant. Only 1,000 liters are only coming. But mathematically, it is a certainty. It is a mathematical certainty that one day tank is going to be empty. Now, somehow, if you can manage by exercising dispassion and all that, you manage to block the inlet little bit. Let's say additional 100 liters are going out, 1,100 liters, but instead of 1,000, only 900 are now entering into the system. Now you have effectively reduced the timelines by 50%. So this is all yoga system all about. And if you ask me what if anyone drains out of the tank, but nothing should get back into the system, only Lord Krishna, Lord Ram could be in such a state. For no other human being, theoretically it may be possible, but in practically it is not possible. You only tend to gravitate towards that state. Slowly as you advance, a person advances, when there is a great saint, he has become spiritually very rich at high level, then yes, you will be able to, out of 100, let's say 70% is not recycled. Only 30% will get recycled. If he further spiritually grows up, maybe 90% will not get recycled. At least 10% will get recycled. Because if nothing gets recycled, theoretically it is not possible for the person to live in the body. We will have to quit the body. Only perfected incarnations achieve that state. So that be the case. I will finally draw the conclusion before winding it up. Earlier I was talking to you about the state being experienced initially. When the soul starts its nature being reflected back to it. Now, some people may ask, so what? Okay, it's all about psychological. It's all about psychological. Is it all kind of a psychotherapy? That's all about it, spiritualism. Now, here I would like to give you the hint. Now, what happens here is when the spirit starts its nature being reflected back to it, it understands that all the energy which has been playing up so far is not different from it. It is his. For example, when we say that energy, when you experience oneness with the energy, all energy is of the spirit only, the soul only. You say that it is my energy. I am lifting this thing up. I can lift this weight. I have my power, my brilliance, my intellect. I can do anything. Here also you are experiencing the oneness with the energy, but you don't know the actual true nature of the energy here. That is the issue. Your limitation, because of the limitations set around you, your senses can only think that much, that this is my energy. Yes, I can only lift 5 kgs, maybe 10 kgs. You are experiencing oneness with the energy, all right, but in ignorance. But when you know that actual truth, that energy is actually yours, now instead of this 5 kgs, you may lift a mountain also like that. All supernatural force start manifesting. This is the profound implication. It is something, then what do you mean by know? Like, I can also say that I know, let's say, London. Just because I read, I don't know London. Because I have not seen London. There's a difference there. Reading about it, knowing about it is something. Actually living it, experiencing the culture of London and knowing it is somewhat different. Right? Same is the case here also. Knowing it theoretically is all right, but experiencing it is somewhat different. When you experience the energy practically, that is the trying to get the true nature of the energy, what it is all about. So this in a nutshell is the spiritualism. And remember that what I told you, that trigger point, wherein you change the status quo of the water tank. For that, so many yoga systems have been developed, so many tantric systems have been developed, so many religions have been developed. Everything is a technique. There's nothing, it's all, you can say, don't get overwhelming, emotional or overwhelming by any great philosophy, any great literature or any great religion. There's nothing outside other than what you are inside. So this is the basic premise. Okay, I finished. I'll take the question.
Great, sir. Thank you.
First